Hi, welcome back to the channel. This week I'm taking inspiration from one of my favorite artists, Fungus Funk. And as I'm sure you already know, he has an incredibly groovy, funky, as his name would imply, style. So let's see if we can get anywhere close, shall we? So the first thing to do, obviously open up our trusty Serum. Now for the first part of this video, I'm going to stay with just a simple saw wave, just so you can hear basically what's happening and understand it a little bit better. And then after that, we'll get into the wavetable selection. The track is going to be in F sharp, so I just have a long sustained note for now, which sounds horrible and sounds like this. Let's change this to a downward saw, like so. I'm going to delete these. You don't need to do this. I just like to keep it clean. Random, down to 0. And also let's turn the phase position to 0, so it starts at this point here. Now let's head over to the ARP. Let's turn that on, obviously. So you can hear it's doing its thing. It is running a constant 1/16th ARP, but the gate length is too long. There's hardly any gap between one note to the next. So let's go over to our playback here, and we'll turn this down. I'm going to go with 50, so 50% gate time. So now we can very clearly hear each one of those 16th notes. Let's also turn it down an octave, and then we'll add a filter, just so it's a little bit more pleasant on the ear while we play with it. So essentially his sound is a combination of FM, which we'll get to later, like I said, the ARP, and also randomization of the release time. So you get these long sustained notes. Kind of like that. So let's turn this down to 0. And then we'll attach LFO1 to the release time. Let this then sample and hold. The rate we can leave at 1/4. And let's put it on retrig. Now what's happening here is that because the release time is so long, it is overlapping into the next note, which is why we get that phasey, messy sound. So to counter that, go to mono and legato. So now we're only ever playing one note at a time. So if this release extends to when the next note comes in, it's automatically going to be cut off by the new note. Much cleaner now. So you can already hear we have these completely randomized, funky, groovy patterns. So now let's go up and create our FM. So let's turn oscillator B on, level down, and then we're going to use FM from A. Make sure the filter is on oscillator B as well, obviously. We'll put this on a high pass. And I think you can basically already hear we're getting that sound already. Let's see if we can find a different wavetable to get more of a different flavor. I think they're all working, but let's keep it with Monster 8. Let's give it a bit of kick and bass just while we're playing along. Pretty nice already, I think. But I think we can go further. Let's turn filter 1 off. And the reason for that is because I'm going to add it into the effects section. The reason for doing that is because then I can change the order should I wish. We'll put this on to the high 24, bit of resonance, bit of drive. And obviously I don't want to do that modulation manually, so let's put this on LFO2. Let's put this on Hertz so we can turn it right down. Let's go quite slow. Sample and hold so we have it random. And then we'll turn the smooth up as well so it's not instantly jumping from one value to another. Let's put this on bipolar. Let's move the EQ to the end. It's currently bypassed, so don't worry about that for now. Let's add a distortion first, and that's basically why I had the filter in this section, so I can add the distortion before or anything else for that matter. Bit of overdrive. Let's turn on that EQ now just to take out the lows. And then we'll add a delay. Let's put that after the filter. 1 on 8 dotted, ping pong. No surprises there, I am sure. Let's now add a reverb. I think I'm going to go with the convolve. Let's put it before the delay this time. Just want to give a bit of character, especially with the early reflections and the pre-delay. We can now add a phaser. Let's put that after the reverb, and then we can play around with this one to taste. I think we're basically there. I'm just going to put the phaser on a macro because I don't want it all the time. Sometimes I really like it and sometimes it gets annoying. So we'll just have that coming on and off at times through the track. Put it around 50% for now. And let's give it a bit of kick and bass as well. We'll have a listen to what we have. Just maybe shorten this release time. I don't know, I think that sounds pretty good. And now basically it's a case of just recording out a long section of this and then cherry picking the best bits. One thing I would recommend doing in that case, I would turn off the time-based effects such as the delay. Reverb you can leave because it's just a very short one, but delay and probably phase you want to turn off, render out the bits that you want, and then put them back on later. Otherwise when you chop it up it's going to be quite fragmented, for want of a better term. So let's have one more listen, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.